Morning, everybody. It's our next video. Um, Joel Moy.
Oh my.
Oh, they're so good. So this week going to be a little bit different again. This is our last weekend here for a little while, probably about 2 months, as we need to go back and sort some
We
stuff.
do, yeah.
So what we thought we'd do is, because it's been an amazing 6 months we've been here, particularly in relation to the charity. So what we thought we'd do with this one is share some of the things that's happened over the last 6 months. What you'll have is pictures and things we'll put over the top, but yeah, unfortunately, you're going to have us doing a lot of talking as we go
Yeah.
through it. So if we go right the way back, so we say arrived here 6 months ago. Um, we hadn't been to the school for nearly 2 years. We kept in contact, kept supporting it and doing things with it. So the same teachers and the same place and things like that, but a lot of new children there, wasn't there?
Yeah. I mean, when we first took it over, we had 30 children, and we'd literally grown it to 130. But I suppose one of the things we didn't think about, we knew it had grown to 130 kids, but we didn't actually think that the classroom space wouldn't be enough. So they acquired another classroom, but when we got here, it was like a mini prison, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. I mean, it was so dark on the outside, and the roof was leaking.
It leaked so badly that when it rained, the kids couldn't learn in there because it just was pouring in. So
Yeah, so that took us on to our very first task, didn't it? And we asked around, and some of you helped and contributed money towards it. And then one of the local bars, Salty Dog, they decided to take it on as a joint project, didn't they?
yeah, and within less than a week, we raised enough money to fix the roof and paint it. And the staff, the owners of the Salty Dog came out and painted it with us as well. So we had great fun, didn't we, that day? And it looks so much better. It no longer looks like a prison.
It did, and the rainy season lasted a bit longer this year than it was normal. And we were at school one of the days, and that roof definitely got a testing. We were in it, wasn't it? And
Yeah.
it didn't leak. It was amazing. So yeah, that was the sort of the first bit that happened. And but also it was a case of building relationships because out in the rural areas they really don't get to meet or see Westerners. Um, Trying to
They are a little bit timid of us because they don't see us. And it does take some building up relationships, as Andrew said, to stop the fear. And but we've managed to do that now, haven't we? And well, they absolutely love us, and we love them now. But it was hard at first,
It
wasn't it?
was, yeah, and they were so shy, and you know, you get a hello and you get a goodbye, and that will be about it. And as I have joked to a few, as I say, they're now into the thing that it's now high fives and fist pumps, and as I say, one of the young lads likes to come up and pat my belly, so which I still think is, you know, getting
And
a
we
bit
even
too
get
fun.
hugs now as well,
We
don't
do,
we?
yeah.
So
So
it really has
yeah,
grown.
it was
It's
great.
amazing.
So one of the next things that then happened was the school every year, and we've not been able to be here for it, does a graduation, and it's to really praise them and to reward them for their work. And do you want to say a bit more about it?
Yeah, well, all the ones from each sort of level, they have like a first, a second, and a third on the grades and things like that. So each of them got a certificate, didn't they? And at the same time, on the same day, every year, they get a new uniform. So it was quite a big day when we were giving out each of them a school uniform and graduating, and we had a big dinner with them as well.
So the next big thing to happen was huge, obviously, not only for Cambodia, but it also made a big difference for us and our focus, didn't it?
Certainly did.
The border war with Thailand, and although initially it didn't have much of a knock-on effect here and in Siem Reap, it started to as refugees were being moved further and further away until actually they ended up in the pagoda, literally about 200 meters away from our actual school. But before that happened, we got involved anyway, didn't we?
We did. I mean, we could see that there were refugees in pagodas all over because literally, when you're in Siem Reap, there's a pagoda, well, just everywhere, and you could see all their own little. They were living in the back of their, what would you call it? like a, I can't really
A
describe it,
cart, isn't it?
like the
Really.
back of a cart, yeah. So you could see those just literally everywhere, and people were living out of those. And we were seeing appeals on Facebook all the time. So I reached out to one lady and said, asked how we could help, and that they were going in a week's time to a pagoda where I think she said there were 500 families. And they were in desperate need of clothes. So we did a fundraising appeal for that, didn't we?
We did.
And we went to a market that I still couldn't take you to now. But through tuk-tuk drivers and this lady and things, we had to take a Khmer person with us, and we found it tucked out right at the back. And there was an old lady there, and she was absolutely amazing, wasn't she? We came away from there with two huge bundles of clothes. It took three men to lift, taller than Andrew. You could only put your arms around half of it. Um, and that lot cost, I think it cost us $210 for that. We had no idea what was in it. All we knew was that I think we got a big bundle of adults,
One was
a
adult,
big
one was
bundle of
children.
children's, and then the lady donated another half a bag to us free as well. And there was so many clothes in that when we donated it to this one pagoda with 500 families, that there was some left over for her to take to another one. So with your help, because we did a fundraiser for it, that was just amazing to be able to do that.
And literally, as soon as we'd done it, we were then told that these families had all moved into the pagoda, as I say, just come down from our school. And Shintamani, who we work with, they we asked them what we could do to support, because they were going to do a support there. And what we came up with was this thing of doing dignity packs, because actually in there, because most of the men either stayed behind at the border either to fight or to try and look after what they got left there. It was mainly women and children, wasn't it?
It was, and we knew that literally there are only about three toilets for the entire place, and we knew that the sanitary situation was dire. So not only being able to go to the toilet, but obviously women have monthly cycles, and even out in the rural villages, they struggle to have products. So this situation was desperate. So again, we put out an appeal, and you helped.
There was also a lot of pregnant women there as
There
well.
were. There was some actually gave birth in camp, so no hospital, no doctor, no bed, just the back of a truck. And I got to hold a newborn baby, which was
You
lovely.
did, and yeah, it was very humbling because we were invited to go in because they had security on the door and things. We were invited into there to see where they were living. They were so grateful. They all
We gave
came.
out 250 dignity packs, which consisted of 2 packs of sanitary towels, a flannel, and some soap so that they could clean themselves, didn't we?
And we met some beautiful people. Remember the little girl that we met who lost her hair?
Oh yeah, yeah. She was beautiful. I can't remember her name now. Danny.
Danny,
It was
that's it.
Danny, and yeah, she had lost her hair due to injections through COVID, and she couldn't get it back. But what a beautiful soul she was,
She
wasn't she?
certainly was. Yeah, we had good smiles there. And then it continued on, um, and they stayed there, and we were invited back again by Shintaman to go with them when they were doing something in relation to the health and an ongoing campaign. And you're going to tell them about you helping them to clean the teeth.
Well, yeah, but one of the things, first of all, because we asked Chunin on the way what they were going to do, and she says, we have to go and educate them. Literally, because as I said, a few of the women gave birth there, but not just to give the babies water. They really don't have the education in rural areas to know that that's bad for them. You know, if there is no milk, not to just give them water because otherwise they'll die. They really have no idea on nutrition. Yeah, so I was given a big stuffed dinosaur with false teeth, and I had to show them all how to clean the teeth with a toothbrush and some toothpaste and some water to spit it out. It was good fun, wasn't it? And it looks silly, and you would think, well, why? But you don't realise that they're not taught that out in the rural areas. Toothpaste and toothbrushes are not common. So again, we were giving out toothbrushes and toothpaste and soaps and showing. Again, I had to spend 2 minutes showing them how to wash their hands just with a bar of soap and some water, just to make sure that they knew how to clean properly. Yeah, it's mind blowing, really.
It is. So eventually, the people from that pagoda started going back. There are still refugees, um, but none in our area. And so the focus came, and we didn't lose the focus on the school, but it really got back to it. So one of our success stories is a girl called Chani, who we've known all the way through the
Yeah,
two
she couldn't
years.
speak a word of English when we took on the school, and so 2 years later, it's a big success
It
story, isn't it?
is, and so Shintamani, who obviously we work with, they have this graduation program in relation to hospitality, and she's the first one of our school that's been chosen to have a place there. But do you want to tell
Yeah,
the story?
this place is subject to her English improving a little bit between now and October when it starts. But that's quite difficult when you're in the rural districts because there are no English people there. So she's literally learning Khmer English. Um, and I realised that it was going to be a struggle for her to improve much. So I took on doing one-to-one classes with her, which I now do twice a week. So during these classes, obviously, with her going into the hospitality industry, I'm talking to her about the customers that she might meet, the questions she might be asked, so where they want to eat, etc. And so we talked about pizza, and she says, I said, have you ever tried pizza? Do you like pizza? Never tried it. What about French fries? Never tried it. In fact, she'd never even tried the Khmer dish, which is a favourite of theirs. It's called a mock because literally out in the villages they can't afford anything more than noodles and rice, which is all she eats. So the next thing we did for that, we did a pizza day, didn't we, at school?
We did. Our friends at Street Free Eatery, they helped us out, didn't they? They
They
found a good
did.
place, and yeah, we got some.
We got 15 huge pizzas and took them to school, and every kid there got a slice of pizza. 120 kids, I think we had, didn't we?
They did. There was a mixed reaction to
There
them,
was.
I have to
Not
say.
everybody liked it,
No,
which is good. We don't want to get them all hooked on pizza.
no, we don't. So the next bit was that partly, I suppose, to do with the whole refugee thing, but also we've been looking, living here in Siem Reap, but going out, as I say, the school is about an hour out by tuk tuk, to see the disparity in relation to the children in Siem Reap get taught English often as a first language, and so they are really, really good. Their education, they've got classes all day long and things, but in the rural, from when we ever first went, they either went in the morning or the afternoon. So the maybe it's the local government decided that they wanted them to go to school all day long to help them trying to catch up. But that was going to knock on to our school. So again, through Shintamani, through the school, we wanted to see what would work out best, and they agreed to allow our teachers to go into the state primary school and for them to teach there on the condition that we would also teach the children that were already there. So suddenly we went up to.
We grew up to 250 children from 130 children overnight, didn't we?
We did. Um, but we were invited in as well. And so we've been going in there and teaching.
We teach there every Friday now
and
as
it's
well.
amazing. But one of the things we noticed was, even though we see a lot of poverty with our school, when we went to the primary school, we saw even more. And the state and the condition of the clothes, again, was just
Terrible.
awful. So we asked, you delivered. And again, we did a fundraise and went along to the same place that we went to.
We did.
And got clothes, and we did an afternoon handing out clothes, and every single child there got at least two
The
outfits.
boys were fighting over denim jackets, weren't they? In a good way.
In a good way, yeah. Most of the clothes came from Japan, and there was loads of denim jackets, and the boys loved it.
They did.
And that was the funniest thing, wasn't it? With the different relation to the old, well, the boys, all of the boys loved them, but the older girls,
Yeah, not so sure. A bit like, not quite as bad as Western girls, but they were very choosy, weren't they?
yeah, so kept seeing the noses.
They were fine up to about 11 years old, and then after 11, they were, yeah.
So yeah, we did that for them, and that pretty much brings us up to date. Apart from one thing, we go along every Friday we now, as I say, we teach at the state school with them, and then we teach at our school for one children that move on to it. And even though we've got two classrooms, um, sometimes we had this situation where I was teaching the older kids at the back of the school. You were teaching one lot at the front, and then Patia was teaching another lot. So we've got three classes all being taught,
In
and
one
you
classroom.
and you like to make your classes fun, don't you?
I do, yeah. I like to go and I play games with them and things to make it interactive.
So it was getting quite noisy, and you just couldn't hear yourself think. And we were just wondering what we could do. And on the tuk tuk, on the way past back, we happened to see they build these wooden shacks, is the best way. They sit outside, often outside restaurants and places like that. And so we asked Rin to stop and
Negotiate.
He told us to go away so he could negotiate because he said they would have charged us more as a Westerner. And for $400, we were able to purchase one delivered, and again we got it within a few days. So this was our final
Gift.
going away. There was a gift. It was a gift from the two of us. This was to them. Well, we got there yesterday, and
They
first of all,
loved it.
it was really cool.
It was, yeah. It was surprising because yesterday was a very, very hot day.
But there must have been 30 or 40 kids sitting in there at one point, and it was just wonderful to see, and the teachers were so grateful. So that brings us on to yesterday, didn't it? So what did we do yesterday?
Yes, so it was our last day. We went into the primary school to start with and just gave them all a token little gift and said bye to the ones that don't come to our centre. And then we went round there and prepared a bit of a party, didn't we?
We did.
So it was no health and safety at all. Balloons tied round their ankles, going round smashing balloons. Last one with a balloon was the winner, which was Chunlai. It was very tactical, wasn't it?
He was, yeah. He was, but he was good. And we taught them pass the parcel. They'd never done that before. And we had,
They all got sandwiches and drinks,
and it was wonderful.
snacks.
And then a real surprise for us, a few of the children came up and bought us gifts, and we had no clue. These scarves we're wearing were given to us as a gift, and quite emotional, wasn't it, for
Very.
us to leave? But we explained that we'll be back in 2 months, and we've got things to do. So that brings you up to date of what a journey it's been over this last 6 months. It's just been amazing, and obviously a big part of the reason we've decided to make here home, because with your help, we do make a huge difference, and that then makes a huge difference to us as people, doesn't it? It's just
It does, and as we say, it's almost become like a big family now. I don't know about a school because they all trust us, and they can all see a future with us working with them.
yeah, and that's the aim. So the videos will continue every week. We've got some things that are already pre-shot that we're going to share with you, and also as we're traveling around Europe, we'll do other videos from there.
Some of them we might just have to waffle our way through, but
Well, a bit
we'll
like
carry
this
on.
one. So this one's a bit longer than others, but that's because we had a lot to cover. But thank you. If you managed to stick it out right to the end, we appreciate it, and we just love sharing this journey with you. So thank you.
Thank you.